Iraqi Dinar Guru Opinions October 13, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. October 13, 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman article quote. Non-oil revenues are to equate from 2024 11% growth. When Vietnam was rocking and rolling big time a few years ago, it was 5% to 6% growth and it was the hottest emerging market. They're talking about 11%. That's probably why you see so much activity right now, because the writing is on the wall. Iraq is going to explode. 11% GDP is massive. October 13, 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26. The streets of Iraq are flooded with monetary reform education. There's a lot of talk. You could call it rumors. You could call it scuttlebutt, hearsay, they say, she say, whatever say, but they all say pretty much the same thing. In the streets, I believe there's a need for them to talk an awful lot about this. Everybody knows it's no secret. October 13, 2025 Intel, Newshound Guru Mark Z. Via PDK. Question. Will we have to wait for January 1st for the reset? Mark Z. I am told it's not date specific but depends of when things happen. So it could be at any time depending on certain events. October 13, 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru MNT Goat article. Trump advisor. U.S. sanctions on Iraq, severe. If PMF law passed, the news on this issue of the PMF, Popular Mobilization Forces, is all good so far. And is moving along now that the Trump administration has finally begun to recognize Iraq's potential and get the U.S. companies invested there. But first things first is Iraq must be stable and safe for the U.S. to come in and play. We can see the urgency to remove the PMF as the January 2026 timeframe looms for the reinstatement in the distance. The 12th of October 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26. I want you to remember that I told you. The moment you see the HCL, you will see the new exchange rate. The 12th of October 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman reassurances are important because they need the public. They need that emotion to be contained. But they can't leak it out to the point people are going to front-run the currency or sell the currency. They can't do that. Pay attention to those reassurances that we're seeing because they're all collective about Iraq integrating into the global financial system. It's clear as a bell. They're openly talking about that. The 12th of October 2025 Newshound Guru Caparoni article. Rentier no more? Baghdad's $17 billion gamble on the development road. Quote. Iraq's $17 billion development road project will be the backbone of a new, non-oil economy. Linking the Gulf to Europe and reshaping regional trade, Iraq has functioned as a rentier economy, deriving over 90% of state revenues from oil exports. This dependence has left public finances highly vulnerable to price swings, limited private sector growth, and entrenched unemployment among a young population. The 12th of October 2025 Newshound Guru Sandy Ingram Iraq is getting ready to go big. We do not know for sure what their plans are for the value of the IQD. But we do know, investments, more than likely will lead to massive profits due to the development road project. The 12th of October 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26 Emo The Iraq dinar is not a secret. Banks that were very touchy, very sensitive and didn't want to say a single word about it have no problems with talking about you about it. Now I will admit the best thing to do is just open an account with a bank that exchanges currency and go home and wait. Don't ask no more question. But every now and then, somebody finds what I call a golden egg, and you get lucky enough that somebody at the bank said to you, yeah, we've been training. Yeah, I found out about it. These golden eggs is only maybe less than 10%. The 12th of October 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru FNULNU article. Iraq, the Middle Eastern country where crypto remains banned, topped the list of countries that are looking up Dogecoin on Google. Anyone wanting an alternate to the dinar would be a fool to invest in doggy and kitty coins. K2 is a big fan of XRP as the Ripple organization solves P2P payments, cross-border payments, heard that lately? Most likely, Ripple and XRP will build the rails on which the digital dinar will be traded. I thought this was amusing, but more importantly, shows how little they know about what is going on before their eyes. The 12th of October 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman Iraq is filthy rich. They have immense natural resources. The 12th of October 2025 Newshound Guru Claire article. What the barrel loses will be made up by the exchange rate. A look at the financial situation and the opportunity to change the dollar's price. Quote, if Iraq's operating expenses stabilize at their current level of 300 billion dinars per day, which requires 85,000 dinars per barrel, this amount will not be achieved from the $58 per barrel unless the dollar exchange rate changes. Converting $58 to 85,000 dinars means that the price of $1 should be 1,460 dinars. This is for the Ministry of Finance, i.e., the price at which the Ministry of Finance sells the dollar to the central bank. From the central bank to banks, it will be 1,470 dinars, and from banks to consumers, it will be 1,480 dinars per dollar. This option is now actually being considered in the political arenas. The 12th of October 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26 whales and sharks are all pouring into Iraq because they can smell the chum. They didn't all these years. A gigantic tsunami surge of international retailers entering the country, and they're not doing it at 1310. It has always been there for them, 1310. Where the hell have you been? How's it that now all of you are trying to get your ass into the country? How? Why? The 12th of October 2025 Intel, Newshound Guru Mark Z, via PDK, articles. 3 central bank strategic projects under implementation, 120 billion dinar of Kurdistan's revenues ready to be transferred to Baghdad to pay salaries. A month before the end of his constitutional life, Parliament faces a race of time to save the outdated laws. These are all part of the HCL law. And the race to implement the HCL, hydrocarbon law, before this legislative session ends. I am excited but cautious. The 12th of October 2025 Intel, Newshound Guru Mark Z, via PDK, question. Does their term end this November? Mark Z. I think it ends October 31st, then the elections are November 11th. There is a break in between the term ending and the elections. There is a hard push to get things done in Iraq. The 12th of October 2025 Intel Guru Bruce, via Wiser Now. Well, guess what? We have another 3-day weekend this weekend, with Monday being Columbus Day, and the banks are closed the federal holiday. So what's going to happen on Monday? Well, in talking with our redemption center leaders, they are on call on Monday. They will not go in, dependent on whether or not that we get the numbers prior to Monday. Now as far as Tuesday is concerned, I think it looks good for us to at least get notified by Tuesday, and I don't know that we won't start exchanges as early as Tuesday. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: IraqiDinarChat.net